forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey, good evening to you. Happy Friday. The weekend is here, and our weather looks pretty nice out there this evening. No issues on the satellite and radar pictures you can see here. We're looking good through tonight and into the weekend. Look at our temperatures in the low and mid-80s. 83 Mattoon. Warm spot down near Paris. They're at 85, and then Effingham at 84 degrees. No issues tonight. We're looking good throughout the area with temperatures falling down to the mid-60s. We're actually talking 50s by tomorrow morning. We've got some rain in the forecast. Could impact part of your weekend. We'll show you that coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Ying Zhang has been gone for more than 2 years. Today, family and friends finally had a chance to say goodbye.
He's accused of trying to bomb a mosque in Minnesota and a health clinic in Champaign. What an FBI agent says was found inside a home in central Illinois in connection to the suspect.
I mean, it's just been nothing but bad news from start to finish.
And this year, farmers have seen it all, from bad weather to tariffs. What's being done to help them out?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
Ying was a beautiful young lady of promise. There was a future that was filled with hope.
But it's been more than 2 years since Ying Zhang was killed. Her family's never been able to hold a proper burial. Today was the closest they've come. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. Jennifer's off tonight. Zhang was a visiting Chinese scholar at the University of Illinois. She was kidnapped and killed by Brent Christensen, who was sentenced to life in prison. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live at Zhang's Memorial Garden. So, Courtney, today was focused on Ying.
For so much of the investigation and the trial, the focus has really been on Brent Christensen. Today was all about Ying Zhang and the impact she left behind and the kind of person she was. Today for the service, members of the community came out from all walks of life for a celebration of Zhang's life. More than 150 people filled the sanctuary of First Baptist Church in Savoy. Zhang was described by her father as someone with big dreams who was dedicated to serving other people. Her father mentioned her time as a volunteer teacher in rural areas of China. He also talked about a surprise she put together for her mother's birthday. Many people at the service today had never met Ying, but they wanted to be there to let her family know they aren't alone.
To feel that such a young lady in the prime of her life could have been murdered in such a way is like, it's just heartbreaking.
We just wanted to show support and respect by being here physically and listen and pray for them.
Zhang's fiance wasn't at the service today, but Zhang's brother read a statement from her fiance. He listed the things that have changed since Zhang's disappearance. He says international students are more cautious now, but at the same time, he said the Chinese community is more united than ever before. Coming up at 6, I'll highlight different parts of the service today and also talk about some things that people mentioned in addition to what I've already talked about, just about the legacy that Zhang left behind. Reporting live in Urbana, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Courtney, thanks. We'll look forward to your report at 6 o'clock. Well, we told you earlier this week about where the investigation into Zhang's remains stand. Investigators said they're likely in a landfill near Danville, but smaller than a cell phone and buried beneath at least 30 feet of trash. Investigators are trying to decide whether they'll move forward with a full search. We now know the names of 2 people killed in separate crashes in Vermilion County. 46-year-old Kurt Bergman of Janesville, Wisconsin, was the semi-driver killed in a wreck on I-74 last Thursday. 2 semis collided, both caught fire. 18-year-old Daisy Garcia Hightower of Catlin was killed in a crash Tuesday at County Road 2200 North and State Line Road. During the federal trial of a bombing suspect and suspected militia leader, an FBI agent testified Michael Harry had a cache of guns. It included assault rifles altered to be fully automatic. In pretrial testimony, the special agent says he found 4 shotguns and 4 rifles. Those were found at the home of a co-defendant in Clarence in February 2018. Authorities say Harry and 2 others drove to bomb a mosque in Minnesota to scare Muslims into leaving the United States. They're also accused of the attempted bombing of the women's health practice in Champaign. Harry pleaded not guilty. The other 2 men pleaded guilty. Both face at least 35 years in federal prison. Here's an update for you. A man who broke into the Christian County Courthouse naked was sentenced this week. Brandon Emery forced the doors of the courthouse open and knocked over the metal detector. This week, he was sentenced to 7 years behind bars for burglary. State leaders are trying to crack down on speeding. July 24th was singled out as Speed Awareness Day. But were people listening? The results from that day are in. Almost 880 speeding tickets were handed out in Illinois. Over 680 warnings were issued. Almost 400 citations for other traffic-related offenses were also written. New tonight at 5, some workers at the U of I plan to strike when incoming freshmen move in. Food service and building service workers delivered the intent to strike to the president's office. They say if nothing changes at the bargaining table, they'll strike on move-in day. They say understaffing is a major issue. The union is negotiating with the U of I. Farmers across the state continue to search for solutions after flooding wreaked havoc on crops earlier in the season. Senator Dick Durbin sat down with those farmers to listen to their concerns and discuss ways to help ease the pain. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Franklin was there. She joins us from our Capitol newsroom. So, Gabrielle, what did the senator have to say to the farmers today?
Well, Senator Durbin says although flooding impacted some parts of the states more than others, the USDA's federal support of every part of the state still is good news for farmers everywhere. Yesterday, the governor announced all 102 counties in the state are now agriculture disaster areas. Durbin said the cornfields in Niantic, where he met with farmers, are some of the best he's seen in Illinois this year. He says his visit was all about making sure they come out of this season the best way possible.
And it's just been nothing but bad news from start to finish. So I want to stand by them, help them, make sure they're around for another year. They're a critical part of Illinois' economy and a critical part of the American economy. And they've really taken it on the chin with some of these policy decisions coming out of Washington.
Now, on top of the weather, Durbin also touched on other issues presenting challenges for farmers, including tariffs on Chinese goods. Now, the Illinois Farm Bureau says Chinese markets purchase 25% of Illinois soybeans, putting farmers here in a very vulnerable position if the U.S. and China's trade relationship were to fall apart. Paul?
Yeah, it's definitely been a tough year for farmers in Illinois and across the country. Gabrielle, thanks so much. Now, Durbin is pushing new legislation called the America Grows Act. The bill is designed to secure money for agricultural research. Under the proposal, an annual increase of 5% would be allocated to those studies. The state fair has plenty of shows throughout the week, but one made its triumphant return today after missing the last two state fairs. The All-American High Dive Show performed 3 times today at the fair. The team's made up of some of the best divers in the world. They're led by Dana Kunze, who is a world record holder.
So people are very familiar with our show already. But yeah, the athletes in this particular show, it's, you know, sometimes we'll do a comedy show. Sometimes it's more of an athletic show. This year it's more of an athletic show.
Show starts with a diver who's on fire jumping into the water. It ends with a massive high dive into a 9.5-foot pool. You can catch them any day at the state fair. Kicking off next weekend is the Taste of Champaign-Urbana. It'll be Friday and Saturday at Westside Park. The event will feature food from 26 vendors across CU. You can also try beers from area brewers and shop local artists. It starts next Friday at 5. U of I is proving just how energy efficient it is, how something called the Freezer Challenge is backing that up. Plus, sometimes you want the feeling of leaving home without going anywhere at all. How one adult daycare center is doing just that.